So SW1. SW1's at South Brisbane, and it stands for, like similarly the railway stations in London all have their names and numbers. This was simply South Brisbane and West End SW, and then one sounded like the first one, so that sounded like a good idea. Everyone asked us where SW1 came from. Was it a copy of another railway station in London? Well, maybe, but not necessarily so. We certainly wanted to get into the focus of the railway and the transport. One of the key benefits of the site was the access directly almost to the railway station, massive amounts of car parking nearby, and of course the cultural heart of Brisbane. We developed this in 4 stages in joint venture with a company from Sydney who sadly have gone by the wayside, Ostcorp, and it is a mix of commercial and residential. What you're seeing there is the first of the 2 commercial buildings, of which there are 4 now. There are 2 residential towers and a group of 32 townhouses. Each stage, strangely enough, won some awards, and very proudly at the end, the whole project then won the Major President's Award, as did James Street for Urban Development Institute, UDIA. So that was the site. If you don't recall it, before Expo, it was Westco Motors. GWA is Westco, so they had a history on this site, as they have a lot of sites in Brisbane. And that's only 2005, so it's not long ago. That was the state of the site. And that's the commercial buildings that are there now. So what are the features of these things that I guess have been acceptable and have been, people have been comfortable with and have lauded the developments? I think it goes back to the character of Brisbane, and because David and I have lived in Brisbane all our lives and our families have lived here, I think we just know what Brisbane people want, and what they want most, if they can, is to park at the front door of the shop, wander in and have a casual conversation with the shopkeeper, have a coffee on the footpath and go on their merry way. So at James Street we created all those roads, all those bitumen roads throughout the site aren't in fact roads, and they're not even easements, they're freehold titles, and it gets rather complicated in multiple ownership, but it still creates separate freehold titles, and all those roads in fact are shared ownership between the owners. There was 40,000 square metres of land at James Street, and on 18,000 metres of land we put 2.5 times more development at SW1. Not hard to work out. The times were good when SW1 was developed. There was a boom on in 04, 05, 06, and those buildings got filled, thank goodness, before they were finished. You might say we were brave building 10,000 metre buildings without tenants. The bank certainly said we were brave, but somehow we got there and we filled every building, and that particular project has been an enormous success. I think the other thing that we've been recognised for is our landscaping. My son Hilton, who's here tonight and a QUT graduate, and I planted hedges when he was a young fella, and I still enjoy driving past those hedges and seeing them grow. Those James Street, if we go back, which I don't know if I can on this machine, but if I can go back to the James Street photos, how do you do that? This one here, is it? Yep. There you go. Go right back to James Street. What we would like to be famous for is that we integrated a landscape. On that one, for instance, do all the entry statement to the CBD of Brisbane, and that was very important to Trevor that we made an attempt at that. We couldn't do it at all because we didn't own the land entirely, but with council's cooperation now, I think you'll find the treed environment as you come into the city is coming along nicely and growing very well. So there's the streetscape. Not a tree to be found. That very corner now, you have to duck to get under the trees. There's massive trees which we planted only 10 years ago, and not hard to, with a bit of vision, to create an environment of in a tropical city like we live, of shade, casual, friendly place to be. And of all the places we've developed, I think James Street says Brisbane most of all. It's casual, you can park at the front door, lots of lovely trees, and in fact its success probably is a result of those things. It's shade, it's casual nature, and it's amount of parking at the door. Now we built this maximum number of cars. Before you hound me down and say there's never enough car parks at James Street, we built 1:50, which was the maximum number available at the time. and we wanted to build more, but council's rulings wouldn't allow us to do that. And I think now the city rulers would agree that